Hey
Hi.
y'all! Welcome back to
Living in our jeans. At least one of us can talk.
Blah 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 blah
Episode, stop. Episode number 67. And I want to show you my coat.
Well,
so I can,
first off...
No, I'm going to take... So
okay, fine.
Before I have heat stroke. Okay. So this time we now have lining in
and
it.
sleeves!
And sleeves. And we've had a minor eureka moment here because we found the frogs. So we will have frogs marching down the front of this coat with a hidden zipper right there. And this is about as much clothing as I'll ever have on underneath of it, I think. So we'll be able to judge where the coat should close over. And we have heavy-duty snaps.
Yes.
To then snap this side on. So I don't have to be undoing and doing the frogs. So they'll be... I guess I'll have a frog in the back, maybe a frog on each side.
I don't know if you have a frog on each side. I know you have a
I
frog
bought
over
8.
the tush.
So
right, I think you have 6 marching down the front.
I can have frogs all over the place.
Yes, you can.
So anyway, I wanted to show you my coat before I died of heat stroke.
So, if you all are new, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm Liz, or Elizabeth, depending on the day. And if you catch me after work or after weekend.
What?
Because at work, I'm Elizabeth.
Ah, okay.
Like, with the family, I'm Elizabeth. But with friends and just generally, I'm Liz more often than not.
And the hair was up because I was working on the coat earlier this morning. And it is so warm that you start sweating when it's on top of you. So I pulled my hair back. And then we went to work on the boat. And I had to pull my hair back there so it wouldn't get caught in various things. I'm Carolyn, cpredmor on Ravelry and sometimes on Instagram.
And I'm Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou on Instagram and Ravelry. And the podcast has an Instagram, Knitting in Our Jeans.
I often post on. And in fact,
you posted on yesterday.
Yesterday.
And today.
Yes.
Right?
Today?
2 days ago? You were on the boat at some point
yesterday. Twice yesterday, I think. And I had the picture to post today, but I haven't checked to see if you can see anything in the picture. They were sailing. They were doing winter sailing. Frostbiting.
The crazies.
Yeah.
Eric is one of those crazies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's a frostbiting crazy. Yeah.
I would have gone down to say hello because we were there when they were sailing, and then they were gone way after we were there. So we were there till about 5 o'clock.
Yep. Well.
So anyway, I had my hair back for that, and I have on As Green as Ireland, which is a design. The front is a design that a friend of mine gave me. But then, this cable work, but I designed the sweater, the sleeve work pattern, and then the cable going around the back. My sleeves, the pattern itself is a bit Edwardian. I feel like a Gibson girl. So I'm working on figuring out a better sleeve pattern before I finish the pattern for the sweater I'm working on designing.
Yes.
Because obviously this is not what I'm happy with. This is not good. But.
So, and this, what I'm wearing is my Kate Davies owl sweater, which I love. I love this sweater. And actually I inherited a white one from Tanya. And it was so funny because a coworker of mine, Rosie, complimented me on the white one. And so the next day I wore this one and I was like, Rosie, it's the same sweater. And she was like, no, it's not. And I was like, yeah, that one is made with, a white, slightly thinner, it was made at a slightly tighter gauge. And she put buttons in one of the sets of eyes, and it has full-length sleeves. This one has, has elbow-length sleeves, and is at a looser, or not necessarily a looser gauge, but
fatter yarn.
Slightly fatter yarn, and I didn't put any eyes in it. But that's the difference between doing it in a naturally colored kind of yarn where you can kind of pull that off, whereas in a purple, it wouldn't. She was like, it's just such a flattering shape. I like that sweater a lot. And I was like, thank you very much.
It is a flattering
Rosie
sweater.
She's a very lovely woman who works in my office.
I met her?
Yes.
Okay.
She sits diagonal from me in the corner.
Was she one of the last ones?
One of the last ones you met, yeah.
Kind of tiny?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
She was seated.
Yes.
Yes. And so she's always very put together. And so I usually admire her put-togetherness of her outfits, because it does look like she actually tries, unlike me, who's like, pants, shirt, shoes, that works.
Yeah.
Hair, what are we doing today? Oh, we're going up? Okay. We can get out to the train. Great.
Yes.
So I
met everybody on Wednesday.
Yes, so Mom actually came into work on Wednesday.
We had a meet and greet. No, actually, we had a lunch and shopping.
We had a lunch and go to Mood.
Yes.
I left what I got at Mood downstairs, but I got the faux fur for my collar of my coat, and the buttons, and the snaps, and the shoulder pads, and I think that was it. That was all I had to get.
I think now that I've at least cut off a foot. Well,
yeah,
mostly a foot off of my coat, and another foot, at least a foot has to come off. Because at least it's now above the floor, which is nice. And I think now that it hangs, I can figure out where the fold line for the self-facing is, and I can stitch that, so that'll be good. And then from there, with luck, I'll be able to get the zipper in. But we're going back to school. Would have been nice to have been able to do this week, but oh well. This has been a great week because we've been practicing retirement. And we've had a ball. So anyway, yes, I took the subway in to see you and drove out to Shea Stadium and got on the subway, and that worked out really well because the subway was actually behaving itself on Wednesday, so that was good.
And it was really funny because everyone was like, oh, you brought your mom, and I'm like, well, we were going to lunch, and I had a few things I needed to get out before lunch, so it worked out just fine, and she met everyone.
I did.
Shocked the heck out of some of my coworkers, which was pretty fantastic.
Well, one of her coworkers is a former student of mine.
Yes.
And apparently he was trying to hide, which I don't understand why. No, I don't think I'm embarrassing.
No, I don't know if he was trying to hide or that's just how he sits at his desk.
Could be.
But it definitely looked like...
And that didn't work because I went over and said, hi, George, how are you?
Yeah.
But then I did meet, there's only, I think, 2 people I haven't met.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, we had a lovely time, got to meet everybody. I met Sailing Eric.
Yes.
Who I found out his parents had owned a catamaran. The Snow Goose was a brand of catamaran, English catamaran.
Oh, he said that you would probably like the 41.
Katana?
The Katana 41, or the other, and I can't remember. Or the Manta. And the Manta, there's one down in Florida, I think, and he knows it because his wife is doing an offshore course down there, and it's been there for the last few years, and he's seen it, and it's quite lovely.
Oh, so that one Manta that's in the U.S. that's okay?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know though.
We'll look it up. We'll look it up later.
It was just very funny because I was like, you have gotten her on the catamaran trail, and he goes, well, I really like these. I think you should point her in the direction of the 41s, and I'm like, okay.
Okay. So anyway, we have been looking at them. Meanwhile, today we were down at the boat again. So we were there yesterday, ran some string in preparation for running wire. I thought we had the wire. No, we are not that coordinated around here. So far be it from us to have all of the things that we need to do work on the boat when we actually have time.
No.
So we ran string. So when the wire comes in, all we have to do is tie it to the string and we'll be able to pull it through.
Of course.
Unlike us, who've got all this yarn just waiting to be done. But no, we can't possibly have all this stuff. Anyway, we were there again today. Found out that the holes he drilled for the hinges were just about 1/8 of an inch too low. So he has to re-drill them. And he has to then use toothpicks to fill the screw holes with Elmer's glue or wood glue so that he can, and let it set, so that then he can drill new screw holes that will actually hold.
My God.
Yeah. And then we were going to drop the propeller in order to take what used to be a stuffing box. It's now a rubbery hose type of thing that goes over the propeller, and it actually is the stopper for water coming into the boat from where the propeller comes out. So it's a sleeve that fits over the propeller. And a little bit of water has to come in order for this thing to roll appropriately. Anyway, ours is about 11 years old, so we have a new one to put on. But, of course, we didn't bring all the right tools.
Mm-hmm. Of course not.
I had found a tool in his toolbox that he swore wasn't there, but I found it.
Of course.
And if we'd had about another 2 hours, I think we could have gotten the job done. But we also didn't start out when we were supposed to. We were supposed to leave the house at 11. I think we left at 2:30.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
We've been busy all day.
Mm-hmm.
I had been working on my coat.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've been busy all day, too.
Well, just a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to finish my coat. So I sewed in I tacked the lining that was on the whole coat.
Mm-hmm.
I tacked the lining at the sleeves, and then I sewed in one sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the other one to sew in. But
that's of the lining.
Of the lining, yes.
You saw it on, and it has both sleeves.
Both sleeves, yeah. But this lining, the sleeve lining, the one sleeve lining has to go in. One sleeve lining, zipper. I want a top stitch that fold. Mm-hmm. And then it's for you and I to do the hem. Excellent.
Sounds good.
Yes, and she was going to come over here yesterday. And then she was going to come over today. Instead, her project swallowed her whole.
So I don't know if you all have ever had those projects where you just don't stop knitting. I also have not had any mojo this week, and all of a sudden had mojo yesterday and today.
I don't understand that.
So I have a tank top on under my owl sweater, so I'm going to show you what I did today. Or this week.
It's just gorgeous.
I made it longer than the pattern
states. In the middle.
I am. So this is my Vogue chunky sweater, the Colorwork one from Asylum Fibers. So the front is done. The back is picked up for doing the same thing.
For the yoke.
Yeah, I thought about turning it into an actually yoked sweater by and just putting the sleeves, but I thought that would screw with the shape of it too much.
It is a yoked sweater.
No, I have to sew the sleeves in.
Oh, yeah.
But instead of, I think the sleeves need the seam, and that's why I also didn't. So I'm also not going to do a 3-needle bind off at the shoulders. I'm actually going to seam the shoulders. I was going to see if you had any, I think we could do it in the acrylic or something.
Yes.
Something. I don't want to do it in this because it's a single.
Yeah.
But look at it. So as we all know, I already made some modifications to it. I made it in the round, and I put a fake kind of seam at the side. On screen, it makes me look very chunky, but that's also because it's double layer of chunky yarn. But I think it'll look just fine.
I like it.
Especially for the winter. I made it at about low hip. It's a pin-up girl.
Get your finger out of the way.
And so I made it to be at about low hip, which is a few inches shorter or longer than it calls for. I also added rows at the bottom so that when it rolls up, it rolls to the pattern instead of one row and then
into the pattern.
So I will have to probably press that or at least block it a little bit down there.
Yeah.
So I have done a lot of work on this weekend.
That's lovely.
Yeah, so I have to figure out...
Both the colors are gorgeous.
I know.
Absolutely gorgeous.
I know. I have to figure out how long...
What a great dye job.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I have to figure out what I want to do.
You should message Stephanie.
Oh, I'm going to send her a photo. I haven't yet. I think she's finally back from Edinburgh.
Really?
Yes. I think she's back.
That was a quick trip.
I think she came back this morning. I think she was on she said she had an 8 a.m. flight out. So.
Because she has to go to work.
Yeah. So, I'm going to be sending Stephanie a photo of it. What I do have to figure out is the arm, like how many repeats, because I don't know, maybe actually it's the same. No, it might be, no, I don't know.
What? Finish the sentence.
I'm thinking whether or not it's the same amount of rows, or if I could do a half a pattern less. And then try it on and see. I also finished it so at the bottom, your center diamond starts with a half, and then I had it end with a whole.
Nice.
So it's slightly off. It's about a half of a pattern off. But I liked that look better.
Yeah.
It worked better for me. Also, it worked out well in terms of the length for me. So I'm glad that I have more yarn. Because so far, this has taken two skeins of the cream or the tan or the yellow champagne, what I'm calling hold my beer. Hold my beer. And it's taken one skein, one plus a bit skein of the purple.
How many of the purple do you have? 2.
And I have 4 of the cream.
Okay.
Should be fine.
Should be.
The sleeves are 21 stitches wide.
It's essentially
or 23 stitches wide. So that's 20. That'll be this, and so essentially, yeah, essentially both sleeves are combined is the front.
Yeah. It usually is, isn't it?
I guess so.
I usually think of the sleeves as the equivalent of a front or a back.
Together? Yeah, I guess so. So I think I should be okay. Because I do have 2 more whole balls, and all I have to do is do the back. I'm going to get the back done hopefully tonight.
I'm sure you will.
Or tomorrow. And it's a rolled neck. It's a little rolled neck.
Nice.
And then I will cast on for the sleeves, and hopefully, I thought maybe I could get, so Friday night they were forecasting snow for Tuesday and Wednesday.
I know.
And I was like,
snow day.
Well, and I was thinking, who thinks I can get this done, this sweater done to wear it for that snow day? Or that snow event, or whatever we're calling it. And
now they're thinking more rain.
Yeah. So, and I don't think I can wear it unless it's legitimately 30 degrees out.
I think you die of heat frustration, much like this coat.
Yeah, I think
I can leave the coat open.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm half tempted just to knit short sleeves for this.
No.
But I think it's too gorgeous to do that. Wednesday, it's now calling for snow again.
Cool.
Maybe I can get it done by Wednesday. Y'all think I can get it done by Wednesday?
I'm sure you can.
Totally.
Totally.
Yep.
Totally.
This is the crazy talking.
Totally. I thought I was going to get the sleeves done in a week.
You can totally do that in a week. Yep.
Well, look at how much I've done.
I know. Then, so this is what I've been working on. Oh, the only thing is I just realized, because I did the first row of the back, because they're the same as the front, or you're supposed to knit the back and then the front. I, of course, knit the front and then the back. Instead of binding off one stitch for the sleeve, I just decreased one. Okay. Which I think is fine. I just won't have the little shelf, but I just won't put the little shelf on the sleeve either.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
The actual top is there.
Yeah.
It's just a gentler curve.
Yeah.
Just a gentler curve, my dear.
Yes, and I thought it would look better because it's such chunky yarn. Like the bind off, you can really see it. I mean...
Well, the sleeve would hide the bind off.
Anyway. I know. I had feelings about it.
Obviously.
So what else have I worked on? Oh. So on Friday night? Yeah, I know. So Friday night, I had a lot of knitting mojo, apparently. Because I got through the eyelet section of my, Jimmy Bean Wool, Lorel Eyes, Cowl, which was the Gilmore Girls,
Right.
Jimmy Bean Wool Cowl. So I got through the pooling right there really hides the colors. Huh.
Yes.
Interesting. Whatever. I still think it looks pretty.
I like it.
So I have done the eyelet section, and I have cut the first color. I have 6 grams of that first color left.
6?
6.
Whoa.
6.
Okay.
So, stash down, here we come. There is a boo-boo in here. If anyone can see it, good for you. And if you can't, we're ignoring it. I sent a picture both to Mom and to Tanya being like, so, what do I do here? And Tanya was like, meh. And Mom was like, you don't take it out. You're so close. Like, no. And I didn't feel like knitting lace after that because the rest of it is lace border section or end section. Mm-hmm. So what did I do is I pulled out this sweater. And then I missed. No. Friday night, I misread the pattern and thought I had to tink out an entire row. Realized I didn't have to, and then I realized that it was just
Easter grass.
Not what?
You had Easter grass on there. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. Are you sure it wasn't just a piece of stellina?
It was green.
Oh, then I don't know.
It's now on my floor, so
there
it is.
I don't know how we have Easter grass. I don't know.
Is that not Easter grass?
Yeah, I don't know.
I rest my case.
And I was like, well, obviously I should not knit on this sweater if I can't tell what pattern row I'm on.
That's true. So then what'd you do?
So I pulled out my chuck. And I got pretty damn far. I have connected under the underarms. And it's on a pretty small cord. But look at how gorgeous that cable is.
And 2 small cords can be a problem because I had to rip out an entire inch of this sleeve because the cord I was working on was too small, so it was forcing the stitches apart here. It's probably not a...
Because it was too small? Oh, because you were magic looping with a too small cord. Yeah. Yes. No, it's too small because
that'll be fine.
Yeah, this will be fine.
But magic looping, it was
you have to be very careful.
Too big to not magic loop.
Yeah.
And the cord was really stiff.
And so because for this you have the back already on waist yarn or an extra cord, and you have yarn already attached, I've decided I'm going to alternate every 2 rows. My yarn on the opposite side from the beginning of row marker because why? Because that's where the second ball of yarn was. And I figure why not? It'll keep things from really pooling in case there are these really significantly yellowy kind of spots.
Yes.
You can't really see it. I mean, you can, but I think it's pretty.
I think it'll be fun.
I love that cable. It's just so
good.
Good. This is Smashing, which is the DK Stellina Merino and Silk by Nerd Girl in White Queen.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I'm really happy. I think I need to knit. I have to not knit, but wind up the last skein because I haven't done it yet. Before I leave.
Good luck getting over there.
That's not a problem.
Okay. I had to wind another skein this morning.
But yeah, that has been my knitting because I have not been knitting all that much. And when I had been, I was trying to get that WIP done, that Cowl.
You did a fine job.
I know.
I'm trying to do 6 more stitches before I show what I've been working on.
I am trying to get this stuff.
Yes, I've been trying to make great strides because I wanted to start another sweater.
I understand.
So I wanted to get this one done so that I wouldn't have another WIP sitting and looking at me. Okay, here we go. So, I have the sweater One Never Tires of Ribbing. And I started these sleeves, what?
2 weeks ago? A week and a half ago?
A week and a half ago, maybe. But I've made great strides. I was knitting them together, but then as I got more down the sleeve, it got harder and harder to do the two needles.
Okay.
And keep track of what I was doing. So I've now
got rid of the other thing. I think I'm going to do these sleeves separately because they're color work.
And I'm going to finish this one, and then I'll go back to this one. This is all the yarn I have left on that ball. So that's
nice.
And there's 5 inches to go.
Nice.
On the sleeve. 5 inches, and then that rolled up cuff that comes up. So there's no way. So I have another ball of yarn, and then I'm going to start every other row with this so it won't look too strange.
Yeah.
So that's why I really decided to go in on this one. But you can see I had my little holder here to keep them together. The sleeve fits really well. The sleeves fit very well. I'm very pleased with that. And hopefully they won't billow too much. They don't look like they're going to billow like these dopey sleeves are. So for my pattern, I may just end up doing separate sleeves and keep experimenting with how to do knitted in sleeves. Because this is silly.
It's a bit silly.
It's a bit silly, but you know, it was good to wear on St. Patrick's Day, and she dyed this for me special. It was a special order, and maybe in the special order dye, it damaged the yarn or something.
I don't know.
But this thing fluffs like crazy. I went at it with a gleaner yesterday, and you'd never know.
Is that Traveler or is that Bugga?
Traveler.
I mean, my Cora pills, but it's not...
This fluffs. It just...
Yeah, I mean, mine pills and has started to, felt, but not...
This just exhales.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous. So anyway, but it was perfect for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah?
We played a Trivial Pursuit game.
Okay.
Yesterday. We went to dinner at the North Shore Yacht Club, and they had corned beef and cabbage, which it turned out I could eat. I didn't really trust the cabbage, because sometimes that water is in butter, but there were carrots and salad. Anyway, played Trivial Pursuit. And the only question I missed was what is the second name of a bridge in Dublin? And I've only been in Dublin once, and it just didn't come to mind. It was the Liffey Bridge. I was like, God, we crossed the Liffey 6 times on Sunday. I mean, it just, you're always crossing the bridge, and I couldn't believe I forgot it. But it was like, Blackpool is the translation of Dublin.
Yeah.
And then the Village of Tribes is Galway.
Yeah.
Then one of the first question is, what are the name of the islands off of Ireland for which a type of jumper is named? And of course, most of the people at the club thought Shetland. I was like laughing in my drink.
Shetland sweaters?
Yeah.
Shetland wool?
Yeah, well, yes. But, what can I tell you? They are sailors, not knitters. So we had that. And then, who was the Irish James Bond?
Connery.
Nope. He's Scottish. Scottish. No, it's Pierce Brosnan.
Brosnan, yes.
Yes.
I was watching something or reading. I don't know what I've been doing recently, and there's been a lot of Scotland in it. And that's why I've been that's why I thought Connery, I guess. What have I been?
I don't know. I've read like crazy this week. I read Origin by Dan Brown. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was formulaic like crazy. But I wanted to get to the end, and I wanted to read it. So that was fine. That one book about magic, learning magic. I was going to bring it up here, but she's packed it away.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize. You didn't mention it.
So,
Rules of Magic.
Rules of Magic.
Which is the precursor to Practical Magic.
Well, I'm not sure I want to read Practical Magic. The last 10 pages of this book had me crying. And just, just tears falling out of my face.
Mhm.
Oh, and we had a viewer get back to us after the book review I gave last week of what I was reading about Scotland, and it's called not impractical, it's unorthodox weddings.
Mhm.
Apparently in Texas, they have a similar law that if you hold yourself out as man and wife publicly, that under their common law, you are then man and wife. So I thought it was an archaic Scottish law, and apparently it's not illegal. It's irregular. A Scottish irregular marriage. That's what it was. Anyway, so Rules of Magic.
Yeah,
I was crying. Good book. I was crying. Then I read your Tortal.
The Spy Master's Guide.
Yes, it was very cute.
So cute.
Very cute.
So cute.
But unless you've read the other books, there's no way you're going to understand what the heck they're talking about.
So good. A lot of in-jokes.
Yes.
A lot of in-jokes.
And then I read an entire series of Ascendancy by Bradford Bates. I have the Amazon Prime Read Unlimited Kindle. And it's a lot of YA fiction. So I read all of those. The first two in it's a 6-book series. They're all about 4.5 hours, maybe.
Listening or reading?
Reading. The first two were, interesting, and then after that it got wackier and wackier. So I was glad I finished that. So I did a lot of reading this week as I was waiting to hear when we were going to go off to the boat, work on the boat. Got my sleeves. I was working on my sleeves.
Well, I finished.
I finished nothing.
I read this week too.
Did you?
Well, I think when I came over last weekend, I was still finishing up, or maybe I had just finished. I think I was still finishing up because I think I finished it on Monday night. The Tamora Pierce Slaughter, Tempest and Slaughter.
Right, which you've now left for me.
Good. It's
Did you
so
get that
good.
one signed also?
No, I did not. She came into Huntington on a Wednesday. And the event was only till about 6:30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I could not. It was very sad.
Very sad.
But Tempest and Slaughter was so good. If you know anything about Tamora Pierce, you know that she has her Emelon series and her Tortal series. This is in Tortal.
Oh, good.
This is, Tortal. This is the young life of Numeris Ameline when he is still Aram Draper. In Carthag at the Imperial school.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's very interesting because you meet characters that you already know. And there is, I'm gonna slightly spoil this, but you're not gonna be mad at me.
Okay.
There's gonna be a character you fall in love with, and you're gonna be like, I swear to God, if something bad happens to you, I'm gonna throw this book across the room. And then in the last 50 pages, you get the most satisfying little Easter egg.
Oh, nice.
Like that, I texted Mary about it on Monday, and that's when I guess she and I started texting, because I physically and verbally reacted to this.
Nice.
Because I was like, I swear to God, I'm gonna be real mad.
And since you've met her, you could write her a letter.
Oh yeah. Tweet, and all these kinds of things. But I was like, we gonna have words.
We're gonna have words.
But it was
serious around here.
So good. I really enjoyed it. Now I'm like, okay, when's the next one? What, a year? Year and a half? 2 years? How long? So, yeah. I think it's gonna be I think she said it's a trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to read it, and so we can discuss it.
That'd be good.
Yeah. It's interesting, to say the least.
Well, I'm glad you sent me downstairs to look for my frogs.
Yeah, I am too.
So, I was showing Elizabeth what I've decided. So I'm teaching sewing on Friday. I've booked a room, so now I can tell the students what room.
Good.
So from 2 to 4, because I've got another alum calling me between 4 and 4:30. for career advice.
Oh, good.
I'll look at my crystal ball. I know I sound flip, but the answer's within her. She knows the answer already. All she needs is for someone to listen to her and say, did you hear what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
Because the answer is truly within her. And that's true for, I think, almost everybody I've ever had come into my office about career advice. The answer's within them, and they just have to let it out. So anyway, one of my students asked if I would teach sewing, so I'm going to bring in the featherweight, but I'm also going to bring in my own machine because what I bought was some stretch cotton, and we know that
why don't you bring in my machine, because my machine's already packed up.
Oh, I could do that.
You can take my machine. I give you full permission to take it because it'll be easier than having to pack up yours.
Well, yeah.
Mine's already packed.
That's true. All right. So anyway, I thought I'd show them the difference between the featherweight, and it just does backward and forward, and a machine that will do zigzag and other stitches. So here is my Tilly and the Buttons Agnes pattern, and it's a PDF pattern. So I'm going to show them this and the difference between this pattern and one that comes already printed on tissue paper. So here you get the instructions, and then you get your pattern here. And I'm probably going to tape it together in advance and then trace it out on pattern paper, pattern fabric actually. It's the Swiss pattern fabric.
The Swiss pattern paper.
Yes,
yeah. Which
feels like fabric.
It does. It's great. I like it a lot.
And what I ordered, I'm going to have a traditional sailor's top. And,
I love it.
In stretch cotton. And I have already run this through the washer and dryer.
Good.
What you should do with your fabrics is be as vicious with them before you cut them out as you possibly can. So put it through on hot in the washer, and I put it on heavy duty.
Good.
Beat it to death. And then it went into the dryer for an hour and 15 minutes on high.
Nice.
So I did this, and then I have this, which is, they call it a burnt out stretch cotton.
Oh, yes. You're going to do it doubled?
I have no idea. I can always wear something underneath of it, but I think I have enough to actually make it doubled.
It's lovely.
I think I have plenty. So anyway, I think this will be very nice, and I will use that as an example of pinning and cutting and all of that. So I already booked the room, so we have the room.
Nice.
We'll be able to do that. Yeah. So I think that's all my news. What do you have? Have you bought any? Oh, my yarn that I bought last Sunday that you said great self-control, Mom. Apparently it's been delivered at school.
They're like cranking it out. I'm really
I will show you all next week.
I'm trying really hard. It might happen.
I couldn't not support
I
them.
know. That's why I'm thinking it's going to happen after we finish recording right now.
You've got to make the decision before March 23rd. 24th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think.
Oh, we can talk about this.
Yeah, this. I'm trying to think what else is going on. Not much else is going on. I had mentioned last week that I'm going to be knitting an Oak Park cowl probably for a coworker.
Yes,
and when she met Mom, she mentioned it again. So I think I'll probably have that by end of month if she ordered it. And Tanya and I bought tickets to go see Infinity War at the 8 o'clock showing, the Avengers movie.
Oh, okay.
At the 8 o'clock showing on the Thursday. So, I'm hoping to have it in hand by then, because it's good movie knitting, because it's all garter stitch.
That's right.
So, I'm hoping that can be my Avengers knitting.
Very nice.
Yeah. And, I mean, Friday was full of good news for my friends.
Oh, yes. The announcement of where
internship. Match day occurred.
That's right.
And my friend got into his top choice, which is great. And great for his wife, who's more, I'm friends with him, but I'm also been longer friends with his wife, and so
she doesn't have to change her job. They don't have to move. It's all good.
It's fantastic, and it was his first choice. And then My boyfriend got officially
summer job offer.
A summer internship offer, paid internship.
Always good.
All good things. All good things. Now just to figure out all of the travel that we're doing this summer.
It'll be fine.
Woohoo.
It'll be fine.
We can do it.
Yes. So anyway, I want to remind people about the Long Island Yarn Crawl, August 19th to the 22nd. It is fast approaching.
It is.
It is really fast approaching. And it is 10 different stores. The Knitting Place in Port Washington, Knit, our local yarn shop. In Roslyn, the Knitted Pearl in Oyster Bay, lovely store. The Knitting Garden in Huntington, they've got a great back room that has yarn on sale. I have picked up some lovely things there. The Knitting Cove and Yarn Shop, which is where I got the yarn for my hood and, what is it?
For your howl.
My howl. I want to call it a snavel. I don't know why. A snood and a cowl.
Snood and a cowl.
Is a snowl.
It's a hood and a cowl. She's dying. She's killed herself. It's good.
It's a howl. Anyway, I got my yarn for my howl there. And then there's the knitting store in Oceanside. That's the one you want to get to kind of early because there's some, the parking lot right outside their door gets parked up. So what's new in yarn too? It's got both fabrics and yarn. The yarn's in the back. Keep going in. You're going to love it. The Long Island Yarn and Farm, yes, I still have my tunic that I haven't done anything on this week because I thought I'd finish my sleeves. I'll finish one maybe tonight, but the other one will take all week. But I have that in the bag. I've got that baby sweater to cast on. Then there's Altman's Needle Arts. I like Altman's. Yeah. They have a really nice variety of needle arts, needle, well, I don't know needle point, but cross stitch, certainly cross stitch. And then they've got some local dyer yarn there. Really nice. And then this new one, Black Sheep Knitworks in East Hampton. We're going to have fun hitting that one just to see what's out there. It should be lovely.
It should be great.
Set your calendars. We definitely want to see you out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody's interested in learning how to sew. I guess you can put a note up on Ravelry, and I'll see if you can meet me at Manhattan College on Friday. I have a big room, and we'll start this adventure. I'll see how many people show up, and I may not need a room next week. Maybe we can just work in the student lounge. We shall see. Anything else, Baby Cakes?
No, I think
we should invite people to subscribe.
Yes.
So there's some place I'm sure down below where you can subscribe. And thumbs up if you like us. I guess thumbs down if you don't, but honestly, if you don't like
just
us,
leave.
Turn us off. It's just us.
Just leave. You don't need to thumbs us down. Just leave.
We'd hate to lose you, but if
you don't like it,
if we're not your cup of tea, I don't know that we're changing. I don't think so.
No.
So anyway, let us
weave in some ends.
Weave in some ends. Looks like you're going to have a few to weave in very shortly. And we will see you next week.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.